Hello, it's Thursday, the 25th of March 2021, and we're building up to a full moon in Libra. So today we have got waxing moon in Leo, which is lovely for me because I've got Leo sun. So just a quick pointer for a bit of magic is if you know what your moon degree is and you know what your sun degree is, then, for example, every time we come up to the degree of your sun, so the exact degree of your sun. So for me, it's 25 degrees in Leo. So every time the moon comes to 25 degrees in Leo, it's a real PowerPoint time because it's what's being unveiled around my Leo sun personality. And if you know more about your family constellation as well, my dad had Leo moon. And so our dynamic, our relationship, that was really key for him too. And for me, of course, my masculine line. So, yeah, just a point there. If the moon is waxing, of course, then it's expanding. So, it's a really good time now to do what your heart loves, what you feel passionate about, and what you want to launch at the moment. So, we've gone past the new moon by a good way, of course. So, ideally, new moon energy in the degree just when you can see it is a really powerful time for creating a manifestation. And we had the new moon on the 13th of March in Pisces. So, what we've been working with is our soul mission, and maybe you're noticing big things are changing for you now around that, around your cosmic script and your story. And I'm going to talk more about that in this video. So it's a magical time. We're building up to the Libra full moon on Sunday, and I live in the Libra part of the zodiac. So again, lots of things coming up for me to have a look at right now. So the reason that I'm making this video is because we started a new 20-day cycle. So we've got the sun in Aries, we've had the spring equinox, of course, on the 20th. What did you get up to then? What did you launch? What did you initiate? And let's have a look on the calendar where we are. So here we go. So at the top here, as you can see in the white, so we begin another 20-day cycle of Red Dragon, and we're in Red Planetary Dragon. Okay, so Red Planetary Dragon is what is manifest since we began the cycle here on the 15th of December. So we go through that initial 52 codes of what the Great Mother is bringing us around our survival issues. Remember, Red Dragon is really survival issues and our Neptunian delusions and illusions. And once we start to heal those and start doing something different in some cases, we can move from surviving to thriving, and we can access deep esoteric wisdom. So having gone through the red, and we're now at the very end, as you can see, of the white. So we've just got 1, 2, 3 days to go. We're going to the blue, and look at all those Akashic record potentialities coming up there for transformation in the blue, Castle of Transformation. So we're going into an exciting time. So brace yourselves for this next journey. So what is this journey about though in terms of the 20-day cycle? So we've got the 20 and the 13 in the Mayan calendar. And so the challenge, number 2, 20, is to, sorry, my calendar's falling apart there, is How much light can we hold? That's the 20th Mayan sign. How much light can we hold by healing our shadow story so that we don't keep doing it? That's the most important thing. That's how we change the world, remember? And the planet for yellow sun is Pluto. So Pluto is all about the shadow, and that's twinned with Blue Storm, which is the year that we're in. That is also the planet Pluto. So this is all about transformation of the shadow story so that the holograph on the world changes because we change. Change the inside, the outside changes, remember. So the 13th Mayan sign, just we're on the subject, is of course the human being ready to do the shift, the red Skywalker, planet Mars. And Mars is in Gemini at the moment, which is basically the fear mind. A lot of the time you can see the fear mind running on the planet at the moment around not being grounded, projection, and the old fear stories running rampant on the world. What to do about it? Work on the inside, use emotional freedom technique. As the fears come up, tap on the fear, find out what the story is, where it was made in your childhood, and clear that as well. And that takes you into a different space. Okay, so how many are we in? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so in the last 20-day process, which we completed yesterday, we were in, as you can see at the bottom, yellow solar sun, the number 9, the last white square. And so we went through a gateway there yesterday of shadow story. So just notice what happened to you, for you, with you yesterday, to you, around your storyline, your human being experience, because of course we're in the yellow human wave spell at the moment, and we're on day 10 of it. So you're seeing that the manifestation of you as a human being and where you are on planet Earth at the moment in terms of your survival, moving from surviving to thriving. What are you doing? What changes have you made? What new beginnings have you initiated since the spring equinox when Aries began the solar wheel? So as we were, the last 20 day, we were in the 5th one. This is mastery of our survival code. So what were you doing over the last 20 days around mastering this old storyline in order to start creating a new one? So here in the 6th column, we are coming into balance with what the Great Mother is bringing us for our conscious evolution, and seeing lots of hard-hitting law or potential law in the UK now, which is threatening people's human rights, not to put too fine a point on it. So lots of old wisdom and old learning being overturned as a direct result of human being fear being manipulated now. What are we willing to give up in order to survive? How much of our soul are we willing to sell? What's our price right now to be a human being on the planet? Each person on their individual path and making choices because of that conscious awareness. It ain't logic. Don't look for logic, don't look for facts. This is so key to the emotional evolution, which is what we're in now on planet Earth. As Spock would say to William Shatner, all those, Jim, should I say, in Star Trek that I used to watch when I was a child, all those debates about humanity and emotion and but it's not logical, Jim. No, we're human, Spock. So it's noticing the new awareness that's coming in around emotional intelligence and emotional healing. So our emotional mind wants to survive and will often, I have the words out today, will often keep us stuck in what some people call self-sabotage. It'll keep us stuck in the comfort zone. It'll keep us doing old habits because the conditioned mind is wired to do that. The emotional mind says, oh no, don't want to go anywhere near anything that's ever been challenging for you, because we don't like it. We don't like to feel uncomfortable. We don't like to feel there's something that we don't know out there. It's the great unknown. So again, back to Star Trek, we're boldly going where no man has gone before right now. Not in written history anyway. So trying to make light of this situation, because it's heavy stuff. It's dark, and for each one of us as an individual, it will be reflecting some story for us. I've been here many times around patriarchy and rules and different experiences in my life. And yeah, it's some hard knock learning this stuff. I rewatched Fight Club last night, which was made in 1999. Very interesting. Don't like the violence in it at all. And there is a lot of that. So if you haven't seen it before, be aware of that. But there's so much truth in there. And just look at what happens at the end. Very key. Very key indeed. Look at when it was made, look at world events, look at what happens in the film, and you'll just notice something very significant. Lots of significant things, actually. So it's remembering that we are a holograph. And so in terms of alternative therapies, shall we say, to use that phrase, so the iris of the eye has a pattern in it. The bottom of your feet has a pattern in it if you're doing reflexology. It's like taking a slice of you as a human being. So if you to take one of your cells, again, using energy therapies, using flower remedies, that type of thing, homeopathy, a lot of people who use a Western medical mindset don't understand that framework. And so again, it's difficult to explain things to people around what's happening now as well. But in each cell of our body is a mini-me. So again, when we've got cells in a familiar, as in family, I'm meaning that word, familial, is that the correct word, sense. So, for example, my children, my mum, people who are still alive in our lineage, then on a cellular level, we're all connected. Slightly different interpretations, different genes being switched on, etc. But once you start to really understand this on a deeper level, then once you start to work energetically with yourself, you can literally rewire your genes, you can rewire your emotional story, you can rewire your amygdala, and your life experience changes because of that. So that primary framework changes the old survival story, because our amygdala logs all the trauma in there, and it keeps presenting the same situations over and over in order to challenge us, in order for us to grow. Most people don't grow though. They give in to the fear and they stay stuck in survival mode, understandably, because they don't yet have the tools or the understanding to work with the emotional mind. So this is one of the key, most important things now, is healing the heart. The heart is spirit, fire is spirit, day 9 on the calendar is spirit, It's all about igniting that fire, that spiritual mission that we're on now as human beings, so that we raise our vibration literally through this inner work. It's not something you do with your head per se. Your amygdala is in your head, but it isn't about intellectual thought on its own. It's about heart healing. It's about letting go and making peace with our past story, and then learning new behaviors, new mindsets, so that we become empowered and from a more peaceful place rather than angry and aggressive, because whenever we're in that space, we're still holding that energy. So, are you ready to come into balance? And this will take us right the way through. So, we'll be going down that intense cycle there, into the blue, into the 10 on the other side equals 20 in the whole blue, and then down to the bottom here, which we have got yellow electric sun. So we'll be coming into alchemy. So we'll be going into red serpent wave spell, and on the 29th of March, and then we'll be going after that into white mirror. And so lots of exciting things coming up for us around relationship, Kundalini over this cycle as well, and showing how we can start to really create alchemy if we're ready to. So in terms of the moon, I'm just going to read you that degree. So it's 22 degrees of Leo, 22 degrees being the master builder number, Mary Magdalene code, and creating a structure. And I love the synchronicity again of how this all fits together. Leo 22, an alligator swims slowly through a swamp. Imperious self-command, the self, entirely conscious of its own territorial rights and privileges, exerts a presence of force, saturating the atmosphere with one's love, light, and intensity. Big and bright, deep and formidable, so very purposive. Not heard that word before, purposive. That your every breath is conceived to be part of the master plan. Grandiose and inflated, yet into something so essential that it's very difficult to go against. It's the ingrained aura of spiritual authority and cosmic intent, linked with the heights, seeping into the depths. You become so enduring and insistent that others back out of the picture. Graphic demonstration of being here now in your element, doing what you need to do. Sinuous, suggestive, sensuous, and somewhat prone to pushing it a bit. The inner light upheld at the cost of any and all extraneous factors. Wow. So a lot of alliteration there with the S's. And the key thing there being an alligator swims slowly through a swamp. So the alligator being I mix, the red dragon as well. So lots of different ways of looking at red dragon there. And often that's key around the alligator. Key to the mystery schools as well. Thousands of years ago in Egypt, for example, that would be one of the tasks, to push the individual into a different state. And so it's recognizing again the fear pushes the assemblage point of the individual who's looking to make a cosmic shift around their conditioned mindset and access their soul potentiality. So remember, we come in, we have DNA, we have a body, we have a human being story, we have an ancestry story, and we're a spirit who has come at this time, I believe, to heal that story and to begin a new story for humanity on planet Earth at this time. So often when we go into fear, that's what it takes for us to come out of our comfort zone and start doing something different, because we've been domesticated for thousands of years, we've become habituated to certain ways of living, and certainly the culture in the West is largely pushing that agenda around staying safe and at home. And we can see the huge irrationality of what's going on now that doesn't make any logical sense, really, just on one level. So, the cards that I have today as well, I'm just going to read you. Again, this really fits in with 22. Add those together, you get the number 4. So, and I got 2 cards today with the goddess cards. So we've got Bridget there, communication, really key to relationship, is being able to communicate, being able to ask for what we want, to be able to listen truly from the heart what the other person wants, and to come into balance. Again, this full moon that we're coming up to, Libra, balance, I and we. Aries being the ego initiation of the hero and heroine story now. So coming into balance with that is I am I, you are you. How do we do this together? How do we create harmony? Not a lot of that going on at the moment. So we're just seeing where humanity is en masse. Light the fires of inspiration in my heart that I may speak with words that reflect your healing wisdom. And of course, the more that we heal, the more we get free of our story, and the more that we are speaking and being a very different human being from that healing space, rather than when we're angry. So when there's unresolved stuff in the past storyline, that tends to be spilling over at the moment. I've also got the birth goddess of, I can't pronounce where that is, Catalhuyuk, maybe. Apologies if I've said that incorrectly. Birth, be with me as I birth new paths to follow and new directions in my life. Strengthen me to do this with love. The Mayan sign for today and the 20-day cycle is harmonic resonance. So this is number 8. So it's about integration again of the story. And the more that we integrate, the more that we let go of whatever's getting in the way of us connecting to source, to light, to the galactic sun, which is bringing us, excuse me, our conscious evolution process right now. Let go of the story, heal the story, come into a new space of connection, of what we're here to embody as an instrument of the divine. And we've got the 4 of Cups, which is luxury. So again, Eli Tarot, strikingly, I will put the links from the video underneath. When the 4 of Cups card is thrown during a reading, it represents slight discomfort and anxiety over receiving pleasure. Blended pleasure and success approaching their end. This is a stationary period of happiness that may not continue, as it's too passive of a symbol to represent perfectly complete happiness. So some drawbacks to pleasure implied, such as contention with acquisition and sometimes injustice. So it feels good for the moment, but that moment soon cools. This card cautions us to not to sit long on our laurels. Be ready to gear up the power soon to keep luxury in the future. So again, very key to what's going on at the moment, and especially key for me in my situation with work as well. So things due to change shortly around what's happening in the UK and where we can go and what we can do. So I'm just trying to find out what the astrology is here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Moon in Cancer. I got there eventually. And pleasure flowing from an unconscious source. Okay, so yes, what was coming up earlier on over the previous couple of days when the moon was in Cancer can be a really key way to look at this as well. So again, there's with everything that's going on the planet, it's hard to keep centered at times because you just don't know what's coming next, do you? One minute it's, oh yes, we're coming out of lockdown, and the next minute it's, oh well, this thing's happening over here, so no, all those things that we promised to people, that's not going to happen anymore, and you have to keep jumping through hoops in order for the roadmap to carry on. So yes, we had moon in Cancer on Monday, and on Tuesday it started going into Leo. And sometimes I just lose track of the days. I don't know about you. Leo moon, we went in yesterday on Wednesday, and so today. Okay, so it could be a real big aha day astrologically, and we've got a Mercury square is going on today, squaring the North Node in Gemini. So that's really key as well, because we've just got, I think it was on Tuesday, we had Mercury go into Pisces, and yeah, so our mind is catching up to the spiritual path that we're on. So again, it's the conditioned mindset. So our soul is trying to be embodied in this human being 13-day process. And the more that we heal, the more that we let go, the more that we release the old storyline, that we take the parental control off in some regard around the comfort zone and say, no, even though I might not know what the answer is to this yet, I might not know exactly how this is going to work out for me in the future, I'm starting to take the small steps now, because I know if I carry on down that route, if I carry on doing something where I'm not being true to myself, where I'm in some sort of codependent relationship, or I'm going against what my heart really wants, I'm doing something that doesn't feel good for me, and hey, wow, I've been doing this forever. This is really key to this time with Saturn in Aquarius, and I think at the moment it's around about 10 degrees. This is a shift is really starting to happen. So again, seeing the manifestation. For those who've got Saturn in Aquarius in their chart at the moment, and I have some friends and clients who have that, they're going back to approximately 30 years ago and seeing what was going on for them then, seeing how that is changing now or staying the same. So basically, a really good question to ask ourselves is, do we want to be doing this for the next 30 years? Do we want to be jumping through hoops? Do we want to be reacting with fear? Do we want to be being governed by a framework that's not taking in a huge part of the scientific community, for example, or the wisdom of people who deal with mental health, for example, or statistics around how many other sectors of our population have died in order to keep doing this crazy, crazy system, when all of the systems that they're forcing in have no evidence or proof that they're going to work anyway. And they're clearly saying that, they're telling people that. So how can it make any sense to keep doing it? Because every time this same pattern's going to come up, we're going to go through this over and over again, with people not being able to live any sort of a life for a very, very small percentage of fatality. Does it make sense? No. So why are people going along with that? That is a key question. Okay, so giving in to this Mars in Gemini dynamic, which is running this old egoic story of survival. And if we don't make this shift now, if we don't start to question and really start to change how I as an individual lives on planet Earth, how can we expect the wider picture to change? Because it cannot. And you don't need to know anything about astrology or numerology or anything to know that. It's just critical thinking, it's logical sense, isn't it? It's the individual that needs to create a shift now and start to change how they live. So we have got Libra Full Moon coming up at the weekend, and 8 degrees. So where is that in your chart? Again, going back to the integration card that I just showed you. What's looking to integrate? Where have you got 8 degrees in your chart? Anywhere? I've got Moon at 8 degrees in Taurus, so that's going to be affecting me. And again, looking at all these cosmic codes, working with people and their charts at the moment, it is just fascinating seeing how all of this dynamic works. So building up to the weekend, we've got a really amazing day on Friday, going back to the 22 degrees thing. So we've got Jupiter at 22 degrees of Aquarius, so a huge day of expansion. And that is such a key time. So tomorrow, again, I'm talking as though it's miles away, and we're on Thursday today, aren't we? So yes, white spectral wind day. This is Yogananda's Mayan sign. So Paramahansa Yogananda, if you haven't checked him out yet, have a Google and have a look at his amazing work, Self-Realization Fellowship. So it's his Mayan sign tomorrow. So this is going to be a really magical day as well. One of the great teachers on the planet, and no longer with us in this realm. But his words and his wisdom live on, and through so many of the people who are following that template of truth. So, what would you like to let go of? That's going to be coming up for you tomorrow around speaking your truth. And so, yes, the expansion day, really key day tomorrow. What's expanding for you? Alchemy, and we've got a full conjunction with Venus on that day as well. So, again, going to bring amazing light to new beginnings on that day. Then on Saturday, we have got the day of what is coming up to be cleared. How clear are you about your role as a conscious dreamer? What is the health story that's still showing up for you right now? What's your vision? What's your passion? That's the story that we're looking to become crystal clear about and release the other old story. And then on Sunday, at the time of the full moon, we have got yellow cosmic seed. And so this is my beloved's birthday on that day. So that's going to be a really powerful day for him because he's completing a 13-year cycle. And we've also got some key astrology on that day as well as the full moon. We have got Mars conjoins the mean node on Sunday. So in other words, the masculine energy, the storyline that we're seeing, this Mars in Gemini, is going to be right up close and personal to the North Node in Gemini. So the North Node in Gemini is here till 2022. It's in my placement, it's about right relationship. The last time it was here was in 2001. So again, if you think about what was happening back then, and before that, it was when I was 18. So 18 years before that. And so this is really key to right relationship and how we are really speaking out about this now, how the masks are coming off around speaking our truth, around masks I'm speaking of figuratively, around our ego coping mechanisms. They're being revealed to us now, around how we've tried to protect ourselves in the past. If we want to get through this evolution process, that is no longer applicable. We cannot keep doing that old way of being. Now is the time to really connect to our star seed self and believe in ourselves, know ourselves, ready to go into that next 52-day process on the 29th of March. So, are you ready? Have you got your intentions set up? Are you making progress? Are you going ahead on your hero and heroine's journey now, setting sail, leaving the harbour? Most of us, that's not a physical thing that we're allowed to do at the moment. We're being restricted on that, but we can do that in other ways. We can do the best that we possibly can right now in believing in our dream as human beings and knowing that we've been here many lifetimes. We have amazing wisdom. We have the ancestors on our side. So the more we heal in this next 20 days, especially using all this amazing universal energy and wisdom, and the more that we can embody our heartfelt soul mission. If you'd like to know more about your cosmic codes, even, If you'd like to know more about how to work with these energies, if you're a woman of around 50 plus who's looking to work very powerfully and consciously with the next 52 codes, then please do get in touch with me. I have put up a separate video so that you can have more information about that. I've got a couple of places left. This is deep work, and you'll have a plethora of amazing information to help you go really deep now and start to clear or go deeper than you're already doing with this additional information. Anyone can contact me about any codes at any time as well. My website is flowwithjo.com. If you want to do the 52-day code in particular, then I will put a separate link on for you there so you can contact me. Please do that soon because we haven't got many days and I need to do code for you. If you are watching this video and you like it, please click like and please subscribe and click the little bell, which means whenever I make a video, you will get it automatically. And that really helps me to build an audience and reach more people. If you like what you're hearing about the Mayan wave spell and the cosmology, then please do share this resource. The more people that we get involved with doing this healing, clearing awareness, this is how we get our world to change. So, wishing you an amazing 20-day process. Lots of love. As always, hope you have an amazing full moon and experience love and harmony more and more every day. See you soon.